To fully support a dementia resident in a dementia unit, one needs to educate oneself. Everything here in the resident's voice. And it will depend on your capacity and capability. But in essence, what needs to happen to fully support a dementia resident is 1, set up the room comfortably. 2, good visits, good outings and daily walks. 3, integration. Integration is very important for both the relative and the resident to get to know staff, the dementia residents, and the regularly visiting relatives. All is important across the board because you want across the board support in a dementia unit to be able to best support a dementia resident or your relative there, especially the primary carer. They're a very important person to get to know because they do the showering, the dressing, everything to do with the daily cares, including the meals and serving. So they'll know all those special important points that are needed to be able to fully support a person in a dementia facility. For example, if you meet with the carer, and a good time actually to meet with the carer is just after showering in the morning. That's when they're in the room, dressing your mother, getting things organised. They'll be happy to speak to you. So find out the time that your mother has her regular showers and come at that time to be able to speak to the carer once the shower's over. It's a really good idea. So then at that time you can sort out what's needed, maybe some singlets, certain soaps, maybe the shoes have worn out, whatever it is. You can discuss with her what she's picked up, and in that way your mother or father gets the care that they need. It's very much teamwork in a dementia unit, really. There is so much to cater to, so much to do, especially if your relative is more disabled. If they're capable and alert and astute and cognitive and activities of daily living, they're good with transfers, sitting, standing, etc. They can more or less dress themselves. It's just memory problem that's the issue. They won't need as much care, of course. But if the person's got arthritis, they're disabled, stiff shoulders, stiff hips, they can't stand easily, you know, all of these things, more support's needed to be able to help that person live suitably in a dementia unit. Now, something else that we often forget is the importance of getting to know the regularly visiting relatives. It's very good to know these people. And it's actually good to make friends with regularly visiting relatives for many reasons. For example, if you come at 2 o'clock on a Saturday to visit your mother, and there's another relative that comes at that same time and you get to know her, it's very good because you'll get to know all that information that the charge nurse doesn't have time to tell you, or the clinical manager, in terms of staff rosters, if there's a new doctor that's on, have the meals changed, you know, the seasonal menu changed, all the little things and details you can get to know from the regularly visiting relatives, especially if they've been coming for a long time. They will know all the ins and outs. Whereas when you first come to a unit, really, there's so much to get to know, so much to understand, especially if you haven't worked in a medical facility before. Everything's foreign and new. So if you can sit down with someone else who's experienced all of this for some time, it really is a great help. So, or you can even actually say to the charge nurse, look, I haven't got a medical background, this is all new to me. Is there another relative here that comes and visits at a similar time to me who I could talk to, who's maybe medical or who has been coming for some time and wouldn't mind sharing some information with me? That's a really good idea, because to try to ask all of the questions that you want to have answered to the charge nurse when she's flat out and busy, it's too difficult. So all of these topics and more in the books I've written, Resident's Voice, Resident's Rise, everything in the description below, on Amazon, on my website. Now they're an easy read, they're positive, specifically positive, intentionally positive, and lots of techniques to help your relative in a dementia unit and make it easier for you and for them. So thank you for your subscribing and your viewing. I really do appreciate it. And please pass on the links. Thank you.